Today's video is a slight departure from the content that I normally post. However, with global rates of skin cancer on the rise, I thought it an appropriate time to offer my experiences. You see, early last year, I was diagnosed with a basal cell carcinoma on my left leg. And this is my story of how I completely reversed that cancer in only 90 days, using absolutely no prescription medications or surgery. Receiving a skin cancer diagnosis isn't pleasant. However, if I'm honest, speaking as someone who'd spent their entire early adulthood drenched in sun, it's not as if it's something I hadn't thought about before. Spanning well over a decade, those days spent continually exposed to strong UV rays, often without using sufficient sun protection, surely had to one day take their toll. And that early sun damage, not surprisingly, was most evident on my face. Although thankfully I do seem to have partially reversed that with the daily use of topical tretinoin cream. However, tretinoin cream wasn't going to fix my next problem. Back in late 2022, I first became aware of a small, slightly rough reddish patch of skin on the outside of my lower left leg, down near my ankle. Initially, I thought nothing of it, assuming it was just dry skin or perhaps the result of a small abrasion that I'd been unaware of. However, as the weeks passed, I realised that the discoloured patch was growing in size. In fact, it doubled in size over the following month and would bleed easily if anything should rub against it. Then, over the next few weeks, a small red inflamed sore had developed, much resembling a small irregular crater. At this point, I realised it was probably time to get the opinion of a medical professional. Once the diagnosis was confirmed, I was told that the most appropriate treatment option was the surgical removal of the cancerous tissue, including a portion of surrounding healthy tissue in order to ensure complete removal of all the cancerous cells. Now that sounded pretty drastic, and not wishing to have the resulting scarring or loss of tissue from my leg, I put the surgery on hold for now, and decided to immediately research some alternative treatment options. Although I did need to be quick because this thing was spreading fast. Firstly, I set about refreshing my memory regarding those supplements that studies had shown to have the most promising anti-cancer properties. I then made a short list and set about some further research before deciding my final dosages. Concurrently, I was also searching for non-toxic topical options, and luckily it wasn't too long before I came across something that really grabbed my attention. It was a natural treatment, and judging by the huge number of patient reviews, it appeared to be having remarkable success, with near 100% cure rates being reported. Not only that, this was supposedly accompanied by an absolute minimum of scarring. Naturally, I was initially somewhat skeptical. After all, if the results being claimed for this treatment were real, then why was my doctor not aware of it? And why was it not being offered to patients as a mainstream treatment option? Could the claims being made really just be a scam, or worse still, did it actually work but was being ignored by both doctors and the cancer industry? Well, there was only one way to find out, and that was to order the product in question and put it to the test. And that's exactly what I did. The product is called Curaderm Bec 5, and let me tell you, it's not cheap. I paid $200 for a tiny tube which I bought from one of the official distributors listed on the Curaderm website. Curaderm is apparently based on a glycoalkaloid extract obtained from the common eggplant, and is formulated as a white cream, which is directly applied to the cancer lesion. The claim is that it destroys cancer cells on contact while leaving the healthy cells unaffected. Delving a little deeper, I found that Curaderm was originally formulated in 1980 by biochemist Dr. Bill Cham, who had been researching glycoalkaloids since the 1970s. And apparently still is today. But what really caught my attention was one particular study published in the Journal of Cancer Therapy, which appears to confirm Curaderm's effectiveness in treating non-melanoma skin cancers. Now I must admit, at this point I was beginning to feel quite hopeful about this treatment. So when I came across another study also confirming that solamargine, the main component of Curaderm Bec 5, does indeed kill cancer cells, that was me fully on board. The study found that at low concentrations, solamargine kills cancer cells by apoptosis, and at higher doses, it kills them by oncosis. Essentially, this spelled no time to waste for me, so I got straight to it. I applied the cream morning and evening, and each time covered the treatment area with medical tape for protection. And I gotta tell you, that stuff stings like hell. I swear it actually felt like something was eating my skin away, which I suppose it actually was. However, the pain doesn't last long and soon eases off considerably, then before you know it, it's gone altogether. Over the next 3 weeks, the sore on my leg actually got considerably deeper, which I hoped was simply the curaderm destroying the cancerous cells. Now, during the 4th week, things seemed to level off, and by the end of the 5th week, the cream no longer appeared to be eating away any more flesh, despite being applied twice per day, although it did still sting a little. From the 6th week onward, I noticed the edges of the sore were beginning to heal, and that the crater in my leg actually appeared to be less deep. Then during the 7th and 8th weeks, the healing process really seemed to accelerate, so much so that I could easily see an improvement each day. Now, over the last 3 weeks, I didn't even bother to apply the curaderm, as the area was healing so well that it now seemed unnecessary. As you can see from the images, after only 90 days, the cancer appeared to have totally gone. Admittedly, there still is, and probably always will be, a small discoloured patch of skin due to the underlying scar tissue. However, I'm more than happy with the results, especially after such a short period of time. However, that may not all have been down to the curaderm, so please don't skip this next chapter, where I reveal the 7 supplements that I chose possess significant study-backed anti-cancer properties. Those supplements were resveratrol, berberine, quercetin, apigenin, EGCG, iodine, and melatonin. My thoughts were that taken alongside curaderm, these supplements would likely accelerate the elimination of my cancerous cells beyond what was achievable with the cream alone. The melatonin powder I had left over from previous research. The iodine tablets and EGCG capsules I got from iHerb. And the resveratrol, berberine, apigenin, and quercetin I bought from the aging research company Do Not Age. And here are the exact dosages I used during those 90 days. However, after those 90 days were up, as you can see, I backed off considerably on most of those dosages. And if you'd like to see my entire daily supplement intake revealed, including brands and dosages, then last week's video is for you. And please do check out my many other individual supplement videos, because you'll find information there that you're unlikely to find on other channels. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, take care, be healthy, and I'll see you again soon.